How you doing? Welcome back to an update on this 19's Harley Davidson build. If you've been following along, you're probably wondering why it looks like it went backwards. Actually, my plan was to gather all the parts, or as many of the missing parts for this build, put them together, and then disassemble it and put it back together. So right now the tire I'm trying to train to fit right inside the rim using these zip ties. There's a little, on clinchers, there's a little tab that sticks up underneath the rim, and that kind of, like, if you can imagine, catches it that way. A little different than tires of today. And if it comes out of that, then the tube's going to sneak out in between that gap and pop. So put a seat cover on this pan that I had. I had to get the extra long grommets, extra long rivets. I didn't quite finish it yet. I'm going to have to make this dirty, obviously, to match the front seat. However, it doesn't look like getting it dirty is that hard of a challenge. So, got some missing clutch pieces. So now I got the plate that goes in the holes. And with the movement, it's not a ton of movement, but it's just enough. I guess with these old bikes, you didn't really get a lot of movement. It's not finally adjusted, but I'm not assuming it's going to be like newer bikes. It's not necessarily a push rod, it's a pull rod. The way this mechanism works is it pulls this holding plate and then lets the clutch plates freedom to switch to different gears, which are here. Obviously I have things torn apart. So what happened here with the engine, I take that out, added the clamps that I had gotten when I first bought them. The bolts I got were for ones without the clamps, so they didn't fit with the clamps. So I had to get the different bolts. These are nicer anyway, since they're castle nuts and have the hole for the cotter pin, which I think is pretty cool. So I did that. What happened was, what I've been doing the last few engines is I fit the pistons to the cylinder rather than the cylinder to the pistons. Saves me a trip to a machine shop and a cost. So I wanted to keep it original, so I got as many JD pistons as I could buy for about $100 or something, 150, whatever. I got a dozen of them in a couple different sales. So the ones that fit best were these, when luckily they already had the rings, you know. I'm not going to be racing this. I don't believe I'm going to be doing a cannonball or anything like that. Just want to get the engine running, probably have the bike going down the road. That's the goal. So the next stewardship can do whatever they want, since it's not an all original bike anyway. But anyway, so by doing that, the piston pins, I guess they had two different sizes for JD. I'm not exactly sure what year they switched over. I might be 1919 or late 1919. I don't know. There's a lot of experts out there that can chime in if they'd like in the comments. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. It's free to subscribe. It helps. I don't know. It helps, I guess. So anyway, helps other people find the channel, and maybe they have the same interest as we do. So I had to get the pins. Didn't fit the connecting rods I had in there. So I did get new bushings, seeing if I can finagle something with the correct size bushings to the other connecting rods, and that wasn't happening. So I just got some original connecting rods and had to split the cases open and take everything apart. And I was so glad that the new connecting rods I had, the races were bigger than my OEM new old stock connecting rod bearings I had installed, because they were like $160, and I didn't want to have to, I wanted to still be able to use them since they were original, and it was. So I just had to take out very little material to fit that. It's really nice in there. So the new connecting rods fit really nice in there. The pins, I did a loose fit since I saw there was a groove at the end of the piston for these external, what they call here, C-clips, which I had to get on eBay. It's cheaper to buy a set with various sizes than to try to figure out what size they are, because out of the 4 holes, I think I had 3 different sizes or something. I don't know. Anyway, they're in there nice now. You got nice freedom. And I heard instead of a press fit for your pins, when you do it this way, what they call just a loose fit, it actually saves the engine and gives it a little more flexibility. The less friction you have, the less resistance on moving parts, the better it is. So that's where we are on that. So the cylinders right here I have off the bike, obviously, because now it's time to install the exhaust valves. So the exhaust valves I have some original ones and I have some new aftermarket ones. Obviously I'm gonna fit the ones that fit best. So the stem's gonna go in that hole. What happens is I have to drill, I just got the drill bits in, have to drill down. The valves have a stepped stem. It's not necessarily all the same diameter. So I bought a couple different drills to be able to go in there and do a custom fit to have the valves fit, the exhaust valves fit in there very nicely, and then install the spring and cups and clips for the exhaust valves. This is actually an original spark plug, believe it or not. I bought that for my 1913 project, and I remember like 8 years ago, I think I paid like $60 or something for it. Crazy, huh? It did produce a spark though when I tested it with the magneto. Now I have a Bosch CEV magneto, the original ones that I used. I was getting spark, however, I bought off eBay. It was an intermittent spark, and I just shipped it to a magneto restoration shop in Wisconsin. This guy does just magnetos. That's the name of his business and everything. I got an email from him after he's got, I guess, a waiting list. Took a couple months, but he told me that he sent it out to get recoiled. And I'm thinking, oh, that's kind of weird. I thought you were the magneto shop, but whatever. I guess everyone has their limits, like I did. I was not going to recoil, remagnetize, repair the magneto, so I sent it to a professional, and that's the bottom line. Is I have a brand new magneto, basically, but an original one, hopefully restored to give me consistent spark, because with spark compression, like I said, these fit really nice. They're both different sizes. I don't know what those sizes are because I did it all by feel and hand, and they fit each one for their cylinder just like you'd want it to be. And what else is going on here? So waiting on the magneto. It should be a few more weeks. You see the one tank's missing. I did give a tank at work. A guy came in. I was telling him that I've been practicing with acetylene, oxygen, like you see right here. I got the little tanks, right? Beautiful day, by the way. Anyway, because I really enjoy this brazing and doing welding of different materials and the torch and the flame. He says, "Oh, I've been welding all my life. My dad was a welder." I'm like, "Really?" And he's into Harleys. I said, "Well, I got this tank. It's an original paint teens motorcycle tank, and the reason I'm trying to learn how to do this is I wanted to fix it myself. If you send it anywhere else, and you don't know how they charge you $2,000, they won't tell you, because they don't know, obviously how long it's going to take." And he's like, "Oh, I'll do it for you." Okay. So he was pretty excited to give him the opportunity. I'm going to hook him up after. He says, "So you want this to hold gas and oil?" I go, "Well, it already holds oil, so just the gas side is what roached out." So he took this one as kind of a template, or to know exactly where the shift tab would go in the other one. Because the later tanks that I have on here, they're the same tanks, they're just a little wider. So I think the streamlined look of a teens motorcycle would fit better with the motif of it's only a couple inches, but aesthetically, believe it or not, it does present differently. Not so sure what I'm going to do with this seat. I love the backrest, but with the seat, with the bracket, I don't know. I might leave it. Who cares? We'll see. I did hear through the grapevine that Dania Beach is going to happen again, January 29th, 2026. I haven't seen any official confirmation online yet. But like I said, I heard through the grapevine, this will be the bike that I take to that show this year. And no matter what, where I am, I'll mock it together, because last year when there was a really old bike that didn't start, the goal by January 29th would be obviously to have this thing at that show and able to start, get a nice video, and then maybe I'll get more subscribers that way. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free. You know, just hit the subscribe button. You don't even have to follow or whatever. And then, you know, see how that goes. I got a front tire to put on. It's over here. I don't know. Just that won't take too long. I was going to try to put a tire flap on that. I still have a tire flap to use. They had a sale, Coker clearance. That was a $500 some tire. Yeah, prices of this stuff's insane. And I got it for like $57. They said $500. They normally sold it for like $350. You know, I think that's what I paid. It's the same one as this one. I think I paid that much for this. I can't remember. I remember they sent me the white one by mistake. I mean, white's cool on those over-restored or museum quality restoration bikes, whatever you want to call it. But I just didn't think they would look right on this bike. Plus the white eventually turns black anyway, right? So that's where I'm at. Hopefully the next video, things will be back to what they looked like. And thanks for watching. And today's project, like I said, is going to be to fit these valves into these cylinders. Because once I do that, the engine's done, and I'll just be waiting on the coil and I mean the magneto coil, whatever, and also the gas tank. I only really need a left tank because the left has the gas and the oil, and I don't really foresee myself needing that much extra gas that I need a whole nother tank full, but I'll have it on there anyway. I doubt I'll ever have to fill it up. I mean, if I do, that's a great thing. That means that it's a dependable bike that would run for you know, many minutes or hours without needing a shop repair. And these guys that go across country on these things, you know, that's great. And even better than that, they have like a rolling garage behind them. They have all these other people that know about the bike, so when stuff breaks down, team effort, they get it up and running. I mean, that's kind of cool. But now think about the people who did it without that, without someone following them with tools and spare parts. And I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, were they built better 100 years ago? And it's just, I don't know, you know what I mean, in a way. Like, say you're driving from, I don't know, Connecticut to Nevada, and it's 1918. There's no interstates, there's no service stations and rest areas and stuff. You're basically on gravel roads, bouncing around, and then you're carrying extra fuel maybe or something on the side. I mean, it's kind of cool. You may think about it, the headlights on this ran off of gas, acetylene gas. I have a tank, believe it or not, and but obviously I'm not going to use a gas headlight, but I might just do it for display. Who knows? We'll see you when you get there. As always, thanks again for watching. Hope you're having a great day.